Yo, I see the book you're reading, and I apologize for not telling you this earlier. But happy Pride Month to all our viewers. It is Pride Month. We're going to use this month to celebrate and highlight the amazing people we have in our lives.
Okay, what we doing?
We're gonna go on an adventure today.
Okay, well, I guess I need to change clothes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's go.
What's poppin', YouTube? Welcome to another episode of The Best Part of Your Day with Devin and Taye. And on today's episode, I am going to be personally interviewing my best friend, Devin, because it is Pride Month, and I want to know more about the LGBTQ plus community. Education leads to expansion. We all need to expand and grow. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. And let's go see what Devin's doing.
All right, Devin. First question I got for you. What's the purpose of Pride?
So Pride started at the Stonewall Inn, and so Marsha P. Johnson, a sex worker, actually was one of the leaders of the movement. It was due to heavy policing, and so the LGBTQ plus community decided to riot and let them know that what they were doing wasn't actually like okay. Treating people wrong isn't okay ever. So who would have thought?
Right. What a concept. Treat people nice.
Exactly. And so it turned into it was parades and stuff, and it slowly got more popularity. Mm-hmm. And so it started off as demonstrations, and then demonstrations turned into parades, and now with more equality being represented all over the world, it's turned into a celebration of our differences and our uniqueness.
Nice. How can us straights be good allies?
There's many ways to be a good ally. It's really just focusing on listening to people's lived experiences. Because when someone says something, it's probably coming from a place of reality.
Right.
And so constantly going against it really it adds more differences. And making sure to be willing to stand out to support the community. Because a lot of times people, when they're around all of the people that think like them, they're not likely to defend someone if they're talking about the LGBTQ plus community in a negative way.
Right.
And so making sure you take the extra step of when someone says something that is ignorant or completely wrong, you're like, that's not correct. And also doing your research.
Research is key.
It is.
Okay, Devin. So I wanted to ask you third question. Okay, 3. Anyway, what's your coming out experience like?
So I'll give you my feelings about the coming out experience before I came out, and then during. And so before, I was really full of anxiety because I didn't know what I was gonna what reaction I was going to receive. It was just constantly thinking about how people were gonna look at me differently. And so first people I came out to were my best friends from high school, Madison and Ashlyn, and our friend Jacob. And so after that, it was just really, they loved me and supported me. And so after that, it was just building up the courage to come out to my mom. And then when I came out to my mom, she still loved me and accepted me because I'm her son. Correct? She's gonna say, who can hate this beautiful face? A lot of people. But yeah, so honestly, my coming out experience was smooth and well taken. But I know I am on the fortunate side, right? Because a lot of times children are forced into homelessness and things like that, or they're just stuck in an abusive home. So I am so thankful that I was surrounded by so much love and support. But yeah, it was a tumultuous time throughout the whole thing because it was just like something almost like on your shoulder, like, ooh, are they gonna find out? Or are they gonna know? It's like kind of keeping a secret from everyone around you. And so it was rough, but once I started telling my story and letting people know, another side of my being. It was pretty much cut and dry.
That's good. Yeah. To some of our viewers that may not know, what does LGBTQ plus? What does that mean? What does it stand for?
And so LGBTQIA plus means lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, LGBTQ, and then I is intersex, and then A is asexual, and then the plus includes all of the other minorities. And so a more inclusive term that is not as many letters is GSM community, and that stands for gender and sexual minorities.
Oh.
Yeah. So it just encapsulates all of that.
So instead of saying LGBTQIA plus, I can just be like, oh, GSM.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like a game.
It does.
GS for my gun squad.
Exactly.
Let's go. So, have you ever had any negative experiences because of your sexuality?
Yes, actually. So I was on a date downtown. We were walking around. We went to Taco Mama.
Always a good place to go.
Cute little date spot, you know what I'm saying? Cheap, affordable, good tasting. But we were walking around talking, and then next thing we know, these people drive by and yell out the F word as we're talking and walking. And so that was a little jarring to hear someone yell an expletive as you're just trying to enjoy yourself and get to know someone. So, yeah.
Okay, elephant in the room. We live in the United States. We know the history of the United States. So with that being said, what's your? Let's go off in here. Yeah. What's your? I guess, how does it feel to be not only a black man in America, because I can resonate with that, but being a gay black man in America? So like, not only are you a minority, but you're a minority.
Okay, I think I'm gonna sit down for this one.
We got benches right here.
Yeah, let's go on here. All right, so when answering this question, I really have to think about each side and also like the intersectionality of the two. And so first, when it comes to my blackness, that's something that you can see. You can tell that someone's black by looking at them, unless they're more of an ethnic, ambiguous looking person.
Yeah.
But when it comes to gayness, it's associated with these archaic stereotypes and nuances that people don't necessarily understand. They try to use that as their way of understanding.
Yeah.
And so being black, I'm used to being on the and being othered, being that other person. But when it comes to being gay, I had to understand my gayness first, and then figure out who I was as a person in regards to moving around in that body. So I had to do a lot of reflection. I had to figure out my blackness. I had to figure out my gayness.
Okay.
But with blackness, it's also the stereotypes of when they look at gay people, or they think about the people LGBTQ plus or GSM community, they're talking about, you know, losing black men, and then they talk about DL culture and stuff like that. But in all actuality, gayness has been around for eons. You know, we're not new to this; we're true to this. So thinking back, like going back to Africa and just the earlier days, they found cave drawings where it depicted homosexual relationships. In Africa, it was prized and held highly for individuals who had male brides. So it was a normalcy behind it. And so through Eurocentric ideas and religion as the kind of the funnel to oppress people, it became othered even more, so it kind of stepped it further away. And so it was a lot to contemplate. It was a lot that was competing. But I'll always be black and I'll always be gay, so I'm going to support it either way. On the gay side, it's difficult because within the gay community, there's still discrepancies or not recognizing privilege. My experience as a black gay male is very different from the experience of a white gay male or even a white gay female or a black gay female. You know, so it's just all these different nuances that come into play, and so it really required me to get used to being in the gray area, being the other.
Wow.
Yeah. But let's keep on walking.
Okay, Devin. So I think that we can both agree thus far we've had a very informative discussion. Learned a lot of things that I didn't know. But to further this conversation, how can you lend a hand as someone who is open with your gayness? How can you lend a hand to those who are still in the proverbial closet?
The biggest thing is authenticity. So the more spaces I go into being my full self, presenting myself wholeheartedly and authentically, it will give people around me that permission, you know, because a lot of times we seek permission as humans to be ourselves.
Right.
And so presenting myself wholeheartedly can inspire somebody.
Okay.
You never know what they see in themselves in you when you're entering a room or entering a space. And so being able to showcase that is really huge, and that's why also Pride is important, because the month is the GSM community's time to really showcase who they are, celebrate their love, and then really let it be appreciated publicly, because getting that public buy-in is the key to really everyone understanding.
Right. Wow. Look at you.
I try, you know, living this gay life it's fun, but it got its ups and downs, you know.
Okay, as y'all can see, we are sitting down. We've been walking. We tired, okay? So, one last question for you, Devin.
Okay.
If everybody ignored everything we've had to say up to this point,
Okay.
what's the one thing you want them to remember from this video?
The one thing I want everyone to remember is,
Sorry, y'all. It was a fly.
float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. The last thing I want everyone to remember is that you don't have to necessarily have a gay person in your life, or a person of the GSM community in your life in order to educate yourself about it. There are resources out there that can teach you and can guide you to understanding the LGBTQ plus or GSM community better. So don't place all the work on your LGBTQ plus members around you. Take the initiative, and if you really want to learn, go out there and learn.
With that being said, make sure to like, subscribe, and share. I ain't got nothing else to say.
Keep it gay, y'all. Bye.
Peace.
Best part of your day is the best part of